Did you know that you look exactly like Christ right now?
That's right.
Thank y'all.
No problem, sis. You look exactly like Christ right now. Watch this. Where you from? You from here originally? New Orleans? Where you from? Where you grew up at primarily? About 400 miles from here? North? Okay. So, you're old enough to understand what happened to us in slavery.
Bring it out.
Jim Crow and all of that stuff. So, watch this. Go to Deuteronomy 28. The Bible gave us what we like to call a trail of breadcrumbs. You know what I mean by that? Something to lead you back to your original destination so you don't get lost. Right now we lost, are we not? We are lost. Now watch, these are the breadcrumbs that God left. Give me started Deuteronomy 28 verse 1.
Bring it out.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So if we listen to God's voice, his voice is right here in this Bible. He's telling us what to do and what not to do. If we listen,
to observe and to do all his commandments which I have commanded thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So if we listen to God, us as the Israelites, and we're going to prove that we are the Israelites, we will be above all nations of the earth. Above all nations. We're not above all nations right now. We wasn't above all nations 150 years ago. We doggone sure wasn't above all nations 80 years ago, 70 years ago, 60 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Read down to verse 15. Now watch this. This is the flip side to that.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
If we didn't listen to God,
to observe, to do all his commandments and the statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
so if we didn't listen to God, there will be curses put on us. And these curses are generational. You know what I'm saying? Read verse 16.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city,
Uh-huh.
and cursed shall thou be in the field.
We're going to go past and present and future. Now, back in the past, how was we cursed in the field? Was there any other people that was working the cotton fields, the tar fields, the banana fields, avocado fields, sugar cane? Was there any other people besides black people that was in the slave fields doing that stuff? We were, right? That's a curse. To do all of that work from cake to cake, you know what I mean by cake to cake? From cake C to cake C, with no wages, that's a curse. It's a curse in the city too, right? Anywhere in America, anywhere in the world, you want to find out people, where do you go? Do you go to the suburbs to find black people? Primarily? Nah. You go to the hood. You go to the ghettos. Huh? We call the hood regular. That's the thing, but it's not. It's a poor place. Housing projects, poor living conditions, government assistance, huh? Apartments, all that's not living.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Huh?
I'm glad you brought that up. My heart so near the and I'm not being funny about asking you a question. You understand what I'm saying? Heart is so many people that subsidize the program.
We're gonna show you. We're gonna show you. Now we already said if we don't listen to God, these things is gonna come upon us. One of the breadcrumbs is the slavery in the fields and our living conditions right now in the city. Right? Watch this. Go to verse 40. Start at verse 45. No, 46. Verse 46.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Those curses were going to be upon us for a sign and a wonder and upon our seed, meaning our children, our generations, forever. That way we'll never forget who we are. All we got to do is go read it. Read on.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things.
Because we didn't want to serve God for the abundance of all things. Because we didn't want to worship God and he would give us everything. Read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemy.
God said, because you didn't want to serve me, now you're going to serve your enemy. Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
In hunger. Guess who gives us food stamps? Why is so many of our people on food stamps? Because we refuse to listen to God for him to give us food. We used to be farmers, am I lying? You probably knew did you grow up on a farm? Grow up growing stuff, crops and stuff like that? Why did we go so far away from that? Because of the government and because of our laziness. We got comfortable. We used to grow our own food, but we got comfortable. I'd just rather go to the store. And now I can't afford to go to the store, so the government say, I'm gonna give you food stamps. So that's the hunger. Read.
And in thirst.
In thirst. We used to dig wells and catch rainwater. We don't do that now. We pay for our water. When we thirsty, we go over here and get something to drink. Read.
And in nakedness.
In nakedness. Our mothers, grandmothers, they used to know how to sew. They used to make our clothes. We don't do that no more. We go buy it from somebody else. Read.
And in want of all things.
In anything that we want. You want housing? You go to them for it. Even if you buy a house, you got to go to them for it. If you want an apartment, you go to them for it. You can't afford the apartment, you go to them for the subsidized housing. They give it to you. And our people is the ones that's primarily on it. Now, watch this. There are more white people on food stamps than black people. But who do they show on food stamps? Our people. Who do they show in subsidized housing? Our people. They got a lot of white people that got houses in subsidized housing, but it's in a good area, so you'll never think that they live in a subsidized housing. But they are. So, when it comes down to it, our people are the ones that we ask the other people for food, we ask the other people for water, we ask the other people for clothing, we ask the other people for housing, we ask the other people for religion, we ask the other people for God, we ask the other people for cars, we ask the other people for driver's licenses. When we die, we got to go to them in order to get a birth certificate, a burial, a coffin. We got to go to them for a coffin in order to put our dead body there. Check it out. Back in the day, they used to bury their relatives in a field that they knew of. Do that today, watch you get fined. And they will dig your relative corpse up and tell you better pay for that plot of land. That's a curse. That's on our people. You know what I'm saying? Because who run the cemeteries? White people. No black people own those cemeteries. We own funeral homes. That's what we capitalize on. We own funeral homes. They own the cemetery. You know what I'm saying? They will buy a whole plot of land and say, you know, I'm going to just put dead people here. And you got to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? That's our people. Go to verse 29. Show you some more, because this is very accurate what our people read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 29.
Bring it out.
And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness.
Groping at noonday. You know, a lot of people trying to find their way. They searching, they touching everything, trying to see their way. That's what black people doing today. We trying to find our way in Christianity. We trying to find our way in Islam. We trying to find our way in politics. We trying to find our way in economics. You know, Jesse Jackson been talking about economics since the day before forever. Yeah. What has that done for black people? What has that done for black people? Nothing. Let me give you an example. Now, name, I'm going to use Bill Cosby. Right? I'm going to use Bill Cosby. He's your age. Bill Cosby was married, right? Should Bill Cosby have cheated on his wife? No. Because he cheated on his wife, now he got all this controversy going on, right? Now, Bill Cosby got more money than damn near every black man on the face of the planet. Did his money change his mindset? It didn't. Now, I granted, he did do a lot for the black community. He did a lot of exposés, a lot of documentaries, raising the consciousness of our people. But in his private life, was he doing what he was expelling to the people? Drugs and sleeping around with his wife and adultery. You know what I'm saying? That did not change his mind. None of the money he had changed his mind enough to say, you know what? Let me be faithful to my wife. But that's where God's laws come into play. The money that you got, it don't mean nothing if you ain't keeping God's laws.
That's right.
Read verse 30.
Verse 30. And thou shalt betroth a wife.
So we're going to betroth the wife. Meaning get a wife. Read.
And another man shall lie with her.
Didn't they do that to us? Came upon you like, what's your name? Leonard. Yeah, I need your wife, boy. And what you could do? Nothing. Let you try to do something, they'll kill you in front of her and still go inside and take her. Read.
And another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein.
Who built the White House? Black people. Who built the Garden District?
Black people.
Black people. Who built the Central Business District down here? Black people. Who built the Calio Project? Black people.
I did.
Who built the Magnolia? Black people.
Me.
Who? No, matter of fact, I'm gonna go even better for you. Who built Eastover?
The homies.
Black people.
The homies.
Black people. The labor force was black people. Do we live there?
Nope.
No. Do we live in the White House?
Nope.
No. Do we live in the best places that's built? No. But we built it.
Yep.
Read. He said we're going to build a house and not dwell therein.
Well, that's
Read.
good wisdom.
Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof.
Because like you said, you grew up on a farm. When we was in slavery, chattel slavery, we was building up all kind of stuff, making vineyards, and we didn't eat nothing. Had whole cotton fields, didn't gain nothing off of it. Read.
Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof.
Because you know the Native Americans, they had oxen, they had bulls, they had stuff like that. White people came and killed them. Didn't even eat them. Just killed them just to starve us out.
Hey.
That's all written in the Bible.
Right.
And it shows that one particular group of people, those are the Israelites. Now watch this. Verse 68. We'll show you the biggest key in the world. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now you familiar with the Bible, right, Leonard? When the children of Israel left out of Egypt, how did they leave? Yeah, when they left the land of Egypt. Remember they was in Egypt in slavery 400 years? Then they left out. How did they leave out? Moses parted the Red Sea. They walked out. They walked out of Egypt. Because walking from Egypt to Israel is just a straight walk. Now they built the Suez Canal now, and you know you got to take a boat. But before you could just walk. So they walked out of Egypt. Read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now Egypt means something. Because the Israelites never went back into Egypt as a whole. A few of us did, but as a whole, we never went back to Egypt. So what does Egypt mean? Read that.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage. So what is Egypt called? Bondage. Go ahead back to Deuteronomy 28. Watch this.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Or bondage again.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
With ships. How many people in history did this happen to, Leonard? How many people in history, when I say people, did this happen to white people? Did this happen to Chinese people? Arabs? Real Africans? No, it happened to us.
That's right.
This happened to us.
Right.
The blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. Because they even took the Native Americans from this side and brought them over to Europe. You know what I'm saying? That's what Tonto and all of them. They was transported over there. So when they needed translators to come back, why do you think they was able to have translators? Because they took some of them from over here and brought them over there. Taught them the language, and now they can speak both. You know what I'm saying? When you look at that, it say we're going to go into bondage again with ships. But it's not finished. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
So we're not going to see our homeland again. That's why you ask black people, where's black people homeland? What we going to say? What we going to say? They're going to say Africa. That's what they say. But they don't really know. Because once you say, well, what country in Africa? Oh, I don't know. Our homeland is Israel. That's our homeland.
Right.
The people that's living in there now, they're imposters. They took our place because we didn't want to listen to our God. Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again, and there,
when we get off these ships there,
ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Doesn't it say right here, to be sold, a cargo of 94 prime healthy Negroes. We're going to be sold to our enemies. Guess what? The same enemies that we have to go to in a one of all things. Food, thirst, shelter, whatever we want to do. Hey, Micah. Wherever we want to do, the same enemies that sold us, it's the same enemies we got to go to for everything else. That's how we know that we're the Israelites. Because the things that was written in here didn't happen to nobody but our people. Watch this. Give me Jeremiah 14:2. Now to show you specifically of the Jews. Let's see. Let's see something very specific about the Jews. Because the Jews are part of the 12 tribes, right? That means that the Jews is the ones that went into slavery by way of slave ships. Read.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
They are black unto the ground. Meaning you're dark just like the ground. The people that call themselves Jews, are they black unto the ground? No. You're black unto the ground.
Right.
They're black unto the ground.
See?
On the topsoil you get light. The deeper you dig, the darker the soil.
Right.
Adam was made from what? From the dust of the ground. Brown dirt. That's what he was made from. That's where we come from. It said the Jews are black unto the ground. Now watch this. Hebrews 7:14. Watch this. Because I said something to you when you first walked up that you look exactly like Christ. But that's not, you're not the image of Christ that's perpetuated in the world. That image is. Read.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 7, verse 14.
Read.
For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
How you doing, bro? It said it's evident, meaning there's evidence that our Lord sprang out of Judah. And what color is Judah? Black unto the ground. Black unto the ground. So if Jesus Christ is from Judah, and Judah is black, shouldn't Christ be black? Shouldn't Christ be black? You agree? Watch this, Revelation 1:14.
The book of Revelations, chapter 1, verse 14.
Read.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
You know what white like wool mean? What it mean? White like wool. His hair was white like wool. What it mean? His hair. His hair right here. His is the most accurate depiction of Christ.
That's right.
The most accurate. Read.
As white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Look at him. Color his eyes. Red, like a flame of fire. That's the same eyes Christ got. Read.
And his feet.
His feet. Your feet is the same color as the rest of your body, is it not? Read.
Like unto fine brass.
What color is brass? Brown. Now watch this.
As if they burned in a furnace.
Now you take that brown brass and you burn it in the oven. What color it get? Nah. It's already burned. If it's already burned, what color is it? Black. Christ is a black man with woolly hair, with negroid hair.
Right.
The Jews are black people.
Right.
Christ from Judah, he's black.
Right.
Judah is black.
Right.
Christ got woolly hair, red eyes, look exactly like you.
Right.
So what should I see in you? I should see
That's
Christ.
right.
If I see Christ in you, would I kill you? Wanna know why black people kill each other? Because we don't see Christ in each other. All we see is another nigga.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.